You can definitely feel things are starting to change a little bit in the crypto market. This is not the bearish week that we dealt with over the last 7 days. In fact, there are signs right now that the market wants to move the opposite direction. I want to talk about that in this video with you guys, because what we're seeing are bears are kind of flocking away. Shorts are closing positions. Is this, in fact, where we get what we saw last weekend, but the opposite direction? We'll discuss all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So what I find very interesting here, well, let me talk about this first of all. So SHIB, over the last several days, obviously retested this longer term trend. It got a little bit of a rejection there. We've kind of floated around the same range in terms of price, haven't really done a whole lot. And one of the reasons why is the market is just waiting and waiting and waiting until we can get to this full week. All right, we're waiting to make a move. Volume's really low throughout the space. Just so you guys know, $93 billion. That's quite low. All right, we've had 3 low volume weekends over the course of this month. One was last weekend. It obviously led to a very big manipulation event that dropped the crypto market. Saw this back here in the early part of September as well. Actually pumped the crypto market. So obviously this could go either way here. But what I will say is that the shorts and the bears are not very confident right now. And that's why they haven't really taken things over. That's why they haven't continued to move things down over the course of the weekend. Guys, we're at the same prices that we were seeing on Thursday. So that's not bad at all. And what we're starting to see is that momentum in terms of the MACD starting to flip the opposite direction. We've had that bullish cross on the daily stochastic RSI. RSI itself is setting slightly higher lows. These are very promising signs when it comes to a correction and a move the opposite direction. Now, I think one of the most promising signs that we're seeing is shorts are closing positions. Okay, open interest for Shiba Inu has dropped by 1.65% over the last 24 hours, which isn't, a crazy amount. You're talking about, what would that be, like $2.25 million positions or in positions closed over the last 24 hours. But what you're seeing again is this long short ratio of over a 1, meaning that there are more longs in the market than shorts, starting to emerge yet again. And what that typically means, especially if open interest is dropping, is that shorts are closing their positions. They are not confident heading through this weekend. It's why we're seeing volume starting to crawl. It's why we're seeing this be the case throughout the crypto market. We haven't seen open interest surge back up to the highs that we had before our liquidation event that started off our week. So this is a good sign for the market. But what we're at is kind of an impasse. We're at we're kind of deadlocked right now. And why I'm saying that is you've gotten to this point where you're not really making any more people capitulate than you had before. So what you're seeing is that, frankly, sellers are exhausted, but we're still sitting at this point where there's all this capital on the sidelines that hasn't started re-entering the market yet. It's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And so we're kind of just at dead even. Okay. That's really what you need to know. Now, that being said, we could actually have a buildup over the course of the week. Maybe Monday's green, maybe it's red, who knows? But why I'm saying later this week is, again, we have our jobs report. The jobs report every single time has led to volatility in the crypto market. So this jobs report is now only, 5 days away? That is going to be a big piece of data for the Fed. That is going to be a big indication of, whether we're going to get another interest rate decrease or not later in October. So this is the biggest thing that everybody needs to be watching and waiting for. And again, if we're not seeing the market move the opposite direction over the early part of the week, that's exactly what we need. Okay. Right now, everything is continuing to hold structure. Ethereum, holding above that 100-day moving average. BTC staying within structure here. BTC dominance still rejected. USDT dominance still rejected. So it's a lot of the same. Not much has changed, but you are starting to see some signs of uneasiness when it comes to those that are pushing against SHIB, that are pushing against the crypto market. That's what I basically wanted to share with you guys. So now, that being said, again, today's a low volume day. I'm not expecting a whole lot. It's gonna be pretty boring, I think, overall, apart from any surprises that we might see in the space, surprise pieces of news or anything like that. But I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Come 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're probably going to see a little burst in volume, especially with it being so boring. The market doesn't like to stay quiet for very long, so we'll see what that brings. So have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.